Okay, so what you need is about 6 tablespoons of sugar, a bench scraper or a sharp knife, a spatula, a flat scraper or a spatula, sprinkles of your choice. I'm using my homemade sprinkles that I made the other day. Filling of your choice, I'm using strawberries and blueberries. A saucepan, keeping it simple, we're using pie crust instead of making crust from scratch because I'm trying to keep it short and simple. Royal icing, again you can make that yourself, but short and simple. And a blender. Let's get cooking. Okay, so I'm using the rest of my blueberries that I had from the other day when I made the Pop-Tarts the first time. It's about half the container, and then I'm going to go ahead and use the rest of my strawberries. So that's probably about maybe 10-ish strawberries. And I'm just cutting the green pieces off, and don't worry about cutting them into like half or fourths or whatever because it doesn't matter. It's all going to get blended up anyway, and we're not like trying to put space or anything. And we're not adding any water or sugar or anything to this mixture. We're just putting strawberries and blueberries in the blender, and I'm using the large NutriBullet cup. Okay, so after you blend everything up, you're going to go ahead and just pour it all into your saucepan that is on medium heat. And you're going to scoop out everything because we're not wasting, because duh, we don't waste on this channel. And you're going to go ahead and put in your 6 tablespoons of sugar. And make sure you stir everything in. Okay, so while you're waiting for your mixture to do its thing, it's going to be bubbling and stuff. Just make sure you're stirring it occasionally and scooping out the foam on the sides. Okay, so you rolled it out. You're going to do this 2 times, and all you're going to do is just take it, fold it over, and then fold it again. And with a rolling pin, or if you don't have a rolling pin, something around like a bottle of sorts. But I have a rolling pin, so I'm going to use my rolling pin. I'm just going to fold, I'm going to roll it out. And when you're rolling and folding, all this does is make more layers. So the more layers you do, the more folding that you do, the more layers you get, and that means the flakier it will be. So most likely turn out to be like a toaster strudel than a Pop-Tart. And then after you go ahead and roll everything out, you get some cling wrap. You're gonna get it, and you're just gonna go ahead and put it in here. Wrap it nice and tight, and then do the same thing. And once you finish wrapping, you're going to pop it into the fridge and let it chill for at least 15 minutes minimum. Okay, so what we're doing now is we are flouring our surface because we don't want anything sticking. And we're just going to go ahead and take it out of the cling wrap, and it's been in the fridge for at least 15 to 20 minutes. And we're going to turn it out, and we're just rolling everything out. It looks a lot better, as in like more stiff, and it's a lot easier to fold and roll because the longer you have it out, the harder it'll be to roll because it'll stick to your rolling pin because it's soft. So the key is to have a chilled dough. And then what we're doing is we're cutting out a template using our pastry box, and this is our template for the base of our Pop-Tart, and you want it to be between 4 to 6 inches in length and width, so 6 inches long and 4 inches wide. Stella, stop scratching, stop it, and then stop, Stella, stop scratching. We have a template for the filling part, and don't worry because it's not going to be the template for the upper or like the other side. This is just to have a guide of how much filling to put into your Pop-Tart. And you want to, whenever you do this, make sure that you have enough space on the sides that it won't go outside of the bottom dough, if that makes sense. Texture, it's cooled down a bit, and I forgot to do it earlier. I'm going to go ahead and strain it, and just straining it to get the seeds out. Unless you like the seeds, then you can leave it. But since I just choked on them for like 10 minutes, I'm going to get rid of them. And we're just straining our jam mixture, getting all the seeds out. And then this is our dough that it has its final chill. It was in the fridge. Actually, I put it in the freezer for like 10 minutes, so it's nice and hard, but not like hard you can't do anything with. And you want it to be at least a 1/4 inch thick. And now I'm going in with my bench scraper and I'm just cutting off the sides to make it as even as possible or as square as possible. But as we all know, I cannot cut a straight line. So it's a little wonky, but that's okay. And you're going to cut off the edges. You can save your scraps if you want to. I'm not doing anything with my scraps. And then you're just going to go cut across and down to make 6 little rectangles that are the same width and size as your template. And it looked okay. I tried. Again, like, they're not the same size because I can't do straight lines, but that's totally fine. It worked. It all turned out to be perfectly fine. And then I'm going back to make sure that it fits my template and my, like, window pane template, and it does. So I'm good to go to start filling the bottom part of my dough. Oh, before we do that, make sure you dock your pastry, and docking is just poking holes into it so that the air can escape so your pastry doesn't explode in the oven, because that's a big mess to clean up, and no one wants to clean that up. Just put a small amount in the middle. I'm not using my template because I did mess up, but use your template if you have it. You don't need it, but it's good to have. You don't need to use the template, but if you have it and you feel like you're going to mess up, go ahead and use it. I did this before, so I kind of knew what I was doing already. But use the template if you want to. It doesn't make or break the process. It just makes sure that you don't put too much or too little in there. Just paint the edges because that's what needs to be sealed up. And if some of the egg gets on the filling or vice versa, it's totally fine because you can eat it anyway. And when you finish, make sure you don't throw away this egg wash because we're going to put an egg wash on top of the pastry. And if some of your filling starts coming out, it's totally fine. Like, it won't do any harm, I promise. Ooh, I won't keep out a lot though, but it's fine. We got this. We're professionals. Okay, and so we're just going to go ahead and finish putting the top layer or the other part of the pastry on top of the jelly filled one or the jam, whatever, the filling. And we're just going and pressing it in, and that's pretty much it. Right now, they look like little raviolis, and we're just going to go and press, like, fork the corners or like fork the end zones so that they like are pressed. And you can use anything you want really to like do this, but I'm just gonna use a fork, have a more like aesthetic appearance. Because if you look at a normal Pop-Tart, it does have like kind of a prongy look to it, but you definitely don't have to. Like, yes, the ones I made the other day, I just used a chopstick because that's what was in front of me. And it worked all the same. My stuff didn't come out. All good vibes. An egg with like just give it a quick little brush over. And this is what gives it that beautiful like golden color. And yeah, Pop-Tarts aren't really like golden, but these are our Pop-Tarts. So they're going to be beautiful and golden. Okay, and our final touches that we're going to do is with our royal icing. This is actually not royal icing. Well, actually it is, but it isn't. This says cookie icing or sugar cookie icing, but it's literally the same thing. We're just going to go ahead and do the whole, like, toaster strudel, like, squiggle design thing. And doing that on all of ours. And yes, you see only 4 because I gave one to one of my sisters, and then I don't know where the other one went, honestly. I think I might have eaten it. I don't know. I did because I was testing it out, but we're just going to do that to all 4 of them, and you can put any kind of frosting you want. You can make your own frosting. It doesn't matter. I'm just using white because it's simple. With my spatula, and I'm just going and smoothing it out. You can use a spoon or whatever you want, but I'm just using this. I cannot think of what it's called, but yeah, I'm just going to go use that. This is what it looks like. Let them cool down, and before they cool down completely or like the icing hardens, go ahead and put your sprinkles on. Again, you can use any sprinkles you want. I used mine. To make sprinkles, all you have to do is get your royal icing, color it for however color you want, put it in a thin layer, and then pop it in the oven for about 10 minutes or until it is completely hardened. Let it cool, and then just crush it up as fine as you can, and you can either put it through a sifter or put it in the blender real quick and just like blitz it, and you have sprinkles.